Hello everyone, welcome back to the Scottish Silverback podcast, episode 38. And this week, oh fuck, hold on.
We're doing the dark.
Is that my, oh, has that just died? I think my ring light's just died.
Look at that power cut.
No, because everything else is still on. Ah, fuck.
Do it fucking old school. Turn the actual light on in the house.
That's as bright as my living room light goes.
Shut
I've
up.
been meaning to get a spark out for the past 3 years and I haven't done it. It's that the laptop makes it look worse than it actually is. Has that actually died? That's so shite. Hold on, let me see if it goes.
The big ring light you use for check-ins.
Well, I could do that one. Hi, it's just over there.
That was brilliant. Right when you press record, boom.
Mate, mind how I said that I think my flat's haunted? I bet you the ghost did that.
Definitely.
It was like, fuck yeah.
There we go. That's got that done. There we go. Right, sorry about that, everyone. So they see the same to Greg, Jack, is that like I don't believe in ghosts and stuff. That's not my. I don't know. I'm a bit kind of like too cynical for that kind of thing. But there is times because Reagan's like working down south just now, so there is times where like I stand at my sink in the kitchen, and like if I leave my bedroom door open, I feel like someone's watching me the whole time. It's fucking weird. You know, you get that like flight or fight type like response. You're like, nah, something's definitely watching me.
Shit still spooks you out.
Aye, and then like my Google Home Nest, whatever it's fucking called. Like, see the other night, so I was through here doing work, and all the lights are off in the flat, and it just turns on. But it's like I listen to a lot of death metal, but like you see death metal when it's unexpected and in the dark, and you didn't turn it on. It's fucking scary. So I was like, "What the fuck?" I wish I'd recorded it at the time, but I was like, "Oh, this is fucking weird." So, but like this building's like over 120 years old, so. There's probably many people have died in this flat, I think, over the years. But
I've got a wee camera for the dog, like a renty camera, and it spoke. There was voices coming out of it one day, and I looked into it, and it's like there was like a thing where people were like looking through people's cameras and shit. It's like fucking weird. So I like just chucked in the bin.
Aye, mate, all that sort of stuff, like it kind of freaks me out. You know how they say like all the nests and like your phones and all listen to you and stuff.
It's fucking true.
It's fucking true. 100% it's true. Like I don't care what they say. Like, oh, it's because you've typed in something and like and you've just forgotten that you've like searched for something. But I remember like talking to my training partner about those, you know, those saunas that you can get built in like outside of your house, just like those cabin things. We're talking about them, and then all my Instagram ads were all that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's totally real, like totally real.
Aye, 100%. So I don't buy that they're not 100% kind of listening to that. But like, see if you've got like nothing to hide, then it doesn't really matter. But it's still weird. But occasionally you know how you can ask like Google Home and stuff. You can ask it questions. So there's been a few times, like 4 or 5 times, where it's gone, I'm sorry, I can't answer that, but no one's asked a question.
Nice.
Aye. So I'm like, oh fuck, that's so weird, man. But anyway, so I was asking views for topics. So I've got a few ready to go that a few people have brought up.
There you go.
Just find it. Where are we? So there was a debate, I think, between Milo Sarchev and Bob Ciccarello about the posing round being judged. I think we might have discussed it before, but I don't think there's any harm in discussing it again because I feel like that was ages ago. So right now, there's no show, I think, for the part from Arnold Classic, but I think they binned that as well, where the posing routine, where it's choreographed to music is actually scored. So like I feel if it's not scored, that's just a bit pointless. Like the guys at the top will say that it's for like entertainment value and stuff, but the whole show's entertaining. It doesn't matter if it's, you know, if something's there for entertainment value.
Yeah, I think it would fucking knock quite a lot of guys in their ass.
Yeah.
Because a lot of guys can pose, and the amount of time and effort they'd have to put into that would be well out of their comfort zone.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I think it should be judged. I think, you know, every aspect of a sport should be judged. Like you said, it will get some guys, you know, to actually put a bit of fucking effort into their posing routines. And I mean, there are some shows that offer cash prizes for the best poser.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's only yeah. So it's definitely something that should be done. I think it'll just add a bit more finesse to that round. You're still being judged in your physique. I mean, but like Bob Chickarella was like, I just don't know. I don't know how like the criteria would work and stuff. And I was like, well, they do it already. The fitness routines are judged. So if the fitness routines are judged, I know there's athletic ability involved in that as well, but it doesn't mean you can't write criteria for a posing routine.
I think it's like that difficult. Like literally, you would sit and watch this. Say there's fucking 10 guys competing. You would know like 1 to 10 what you thought was the best. Simple as that.
Yeah, and we're not saying
like, anything special. It's like how well it was choreographed, how well they played it to the music.
Yeah,
did they do stuff with the bass drop, or was it very artistic in the slow stuff like that? It doesn't have to be fucking difficult.
And there's not we're not saying like someone who like is soft and fat should be allowed to win just because their posing's amazing. Like we're not saying that, but it could be the gap between, you know, two very, very close physiques, and I think that makes it a bit more of a sport.
Would you just kind of say like 40, 40, 20?
20 being the posing routine. Aye. Yeah, I think that's reasonable.
Yeah.
Whereas is fitness not 50?
I think this is more than that.
Is it?
Fucking hell.
They're huge on just the pose, because that's nearly what it's down to. It's like their gymnastic skills, if anything. I'm pretty sure it's more than that.
Yeah. So Jack, what do you think about that?
Well, I mean, your posing is your presentation of your physique, isn't it? So you see people with really good physiques who aren't all that great posers in the posing round. They don't present themselves as well as they can. So as you said, it probably would incentivize people to present themselves better, and it would make for a better show.
Yeah. And not only that, granted, they have quite a lot of they have a lot of compulsory poses, but like, see, doing your own poses, that allows you to perhaps hide or emphasize weaknesses and strengths as well. So having your own individual poses in a posing routine, you're allowed to show your physique off in a different light. So that might sway some sort of judging or some sort of points. We're not talking about huge waves of like difference in posing, difference of fucking hell, judging, but it might just, you know, allow you to just manipulate your physique and just show a little bit more off. So I mean, I love the posing routines. It's definitely one of my favorite parts of the whole thing. You're on stage by yourself. It's your only time by yourself for most federations, and I think you should just make the most of it. You put in all this time, you know, put a bit of graft into it, and just use that time. But some guys will disagree, so, or some just fucking just not do it at all.
Zero, like obviously it's like it's strange. They make you do it, whereas like some guys go, do you know what? I can't be arsed doing it, and they get the exact score. It's not like they'd probably be disqualified from the show, would they? Well, they might do, obviously not, but you could probably walk on, hit like a fucking most muscular and walk off. It's not.
I mean, if you're like the outright winner in that 80%, then it wouldn't matter. But you never know. You never know what kind of difference it makes. But I don't think there's any argument for it not being judged. I don't understand why it's not. I mean, like we've got the Granite. I know you can't compare like the Granite City to like a fucking IFBB Pro show, but like there is like an award for like the best poser in that. So there is emphasis on it in some shows. Some shows do put emphasis on it, which is a good thing. That's I think that should be carried across all federations and all shows, especially
at that level as well. If you're coming out amongst everyone who's done a good routine and you've put in minimal effort, you look like you would look like a bit of a tit as well.
Yeah.
Regardless of how good your physique was, I think it's almost like unsportsmanlike at that level.
Aye. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, there's some physiques where they say, like, for instance, like Rolly Winkler and that, and like Phil Heath can extend, and those kind of physiques, they can just walk out and just stomp about the stage, and they'll be amazing to watch. But you know, there is an art aspect and an aspect of the sport that can be compared, like added to the comparisons. So I think it should be there. Personally,
Tell you, I get one on that. But just before you crack on, Samson's posing. Have you seen Samson pose?
Yeah.
How individual his style of posing is, but it works for him. But I think if any of us did that, you'd look like a bit of a bellend. But it just really works for him.
Aye. I'm lucky. I saw that live this year, so at the Arnold, it was class.
Yeah, it definitely favours him, and obviously he's known for his posing. It's like known for that, and it's just shit that like he's so good at something, and it makes no difference.
Yeah, that's what we're kind of getting at. So
it should be like an opportunity for you to make up as much ground or as points as possible. As much as going to still be the same point scoring, but if you've got an opportunity to shine somewhere, you should be able to get that opportunity.
Aye, no, I agree. Yeah. I've just typed in Samson to YouTube, so I'm just going to play the first thing that comes up.
Who's your favourite posing routine ever?
Labrada 89, I think.
Was it?
Yeah.
I think I've got a couple.
Is this the John Meadows tribute?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
No, 2022, is it?
Oh, that was the Arnold, wasn't it? He did that.
That was the week after the Arnold.
They did it the Arnold.
Yeah, it's like those hand movements and nuts.
It's like kind of Kai Greeny when he moves, like the transition.
Kai Green's Dirty Dana is probably one of my favourite.
Aye.
Yeah.
I also
see whenever
Terence Ruffin's one to what was it?
The Destiny's Child remix. Aye.
The Black Panther one.
Yeah. You see anyone who does like Dirty Diana, like you better fucking know how to pose if you pose to that. Because that's like the song that's now known.
But
all these shots that are so like
Kai Green as a poser was just, I think he was like so unique because he could move like each individual body part to like as if like it was, he could like throw one lat out to the base drop and the next one, and then you could watch like his glutes ripple one side to the next. He was like just so talented in how he connected with the muscles and posing.
Yeah. There we go. 2007. You forget how like
fucking long ago it was. Jesus
I
Christ.
know. Look how small. Well, he's not small, but like compared to where he ended up,
it's fucking peeled.
I won't play the music just in case this gets taken down. But he's shredded to the bone, but you can just see it.
He's much smaller than normal, yeah.
Aye.
But when you see him turn around, like the detail through his back and everything was wild. He gets so into the music as well, which is a big thing.
Yeah. It's like, see when like a limb moves or like it's planted, it stays there. It doesn't like move at all.
Which is very rare in like your individual pose routine because you're moving.
Like just say like, obviously Kai beat Phil Heath in 2010 at the Arnold, and that was arguably like, you know, you could have given it to Phil. But if Kai had posed like that at 2010 Arnold and it was like judged, then it'd been outright Kai Green because you would have had that posing round behind him. So that's where I think it's a massive benefit, you know. So like there's no, you're not just purely relying on the physique. There is an essence of like performing, actually having to perform that makes all the difference.
I can still understand a little bit of where Bob Chickel's coming from, because obviously if like you look at like say Phil Heath, who isn't a good individual poser, but like when he stands there and hits some poses, you're just like your jaw hits the floor. It's like that, wow, and it's so other. Like there's no one else can walk out. When he walked out like 2013, it was like silence. And then, as I said, like, I think that was the only show in history almost that he didn't have to go through the comparison rounds. They took him aside and it's like, you've won, mate. Like,
you've won, bite.
Yeah, just go stand over there. And like everyone else is fighting for second and third. Like it's the only time it's ever happened. It's like, imagine just walking out and being that good. But then, like, obviously, because you're just that fucking good a bodybuilder, They said, all right, you get 20, you have to do your 20% of the posing routine. And somebody it was like just below him could have fucking edged them. I can understand in that aspect, but yeah, it's a tough one.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I know, but like you have to ask like, how often that, and there also probably needs to be some sort of what's the word? Starts with D. Fuck. No. Right.
That, actually, as well. Even Nick Walker this year put in effort to his posing.
Yeah.
It's a fridge, and it's like he actually still put in like some effort and like fucking is like ground game, doing like some classical shots, and like I was probably well out of his comfort zone.
Aye.
So it can be done.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, 100%. It can be done. Yeah, it's a case of just being like fucking mandated. So, so pretty much all in agreement with that one. It should be judged. I'd say so. So, in terms of, there's another thing as well that got brought in. That was that they're finding guys who pull out from shows after you've agreed to do them. You think that's fair?
If it's a valid reason, like very valid, not just a case of.
Yeah.
Obviously, after Olympia, like these guys fucking knew how long they've been in prep for and how long the show was away, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I'll do it." Then like 2 weeks later, like, you know what? I've been in prep for like far too long. I'm ready to come out. Like you knew that.
Aye.
The name's already in like that, and they're going to have to go find other people. So I can understand where they come from there, 100%.
Yeah, if you look at it from like a organizer's point of view as well, if you've promised spectators that so and so is going to show up and he doesn't, and they've given you money expecting to see X guy, they're going to be raging. So they might have people who like pull out, refund, or whatever. So yeah, I think it's definitely a thing that needs to be done. I mean, like don't boxers and fighters have the same thing? If pull out from that's the reason they have contracts in place. So
fine, but like to be fair, it was probably the best thing that happened this year, the Arnold Classic, because it opened the floodgates to some big names coming in. They were just like emailing like, "Oh, do you want to compete?" And some of the guys like, "Fucking 300K, fuck it, let's go."
Think how much money that actually is, though. Like fucking
wild, absolutely wild.
300K
winning a show.
I know. I mean, it's a good thing as well.
It's not like a day's work, but you get what I mean.
Yeah. Aye, it's definitely not.
There's days like you've like just turned up and like, yeah, let's fucking go. You've obviously prepped hard for it, but it is like a case of fucking an hour stage time to win 300K.
Aye, it's fucking. You like, I'm sure you are both the same, but see when you're on stage, like it feels like you're on for like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Like just imagine like doing that, and then just being handed fucking $300,000. That's fucking mental. But yeah, I think.
What's the prize pot? All in all,
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Even second and third is usually big prize money.
Bags, I think.
Aye.
I'm pretty sure second might be close to 100.
Yeah, still, even second place is still a good paycheck, eh?
But Nick won like 120, 140K or something last time he won it. So that's a big jump.
Oh.
Aye. But that's a good thing. That's the way it should be. Do you think Classic should mirror close to what Open gets now that it's getting more popular, and just as many people who watch Open watch Classic?
I definitely think it should be paid more, but not as much as Open. Like, you know yourself, like to be those guys 9 times out of 10, it takes them like 3 times as long as a Classic guy to be there, to be that size, and a lot more aggressively and, you know, consuming of food, and probably the gear you take, the risks in the gym, and so on and so on. And then they've got to keep pushing that boundary every year. So I think you're getting paid for that reward or risk reward you're taking, whereas Classic guys could be a good Classic guy in like 3-4 years, really. Because you obviously your weight cap is pretty specific sized. They're not like you're pushing that boundary.
Yeah.
Because like if we even just looking at amateur shows, like a lot of the crowd show up for like bikini. So it's not necessarily a ticket selling thing when it comes to bodybuilding, because obviously no one watches.
I think that's more an amateur thing. Do you not think?
Mate, the fucking amount of people that are there for bikini,
Arnold.
though.
There's women.
What do you mean? I know, but it's still
women turning up to watch them. No, I'm not meaning like as in like there's women up there, but I'm on about like that crowd is probably 95% women.
Yeah, I know, but then you can say the same for open.
I don't know, like that's like the one everybody wants to see.
I know that, but like my point was like it's still like a good amount of people.
Oh yeah, I know. Women. It's obviously like it's like 95% women.
That's happened again. There we go. It keeps overheating, I think. Fair enough.
That's not what I'm saying, but like,
yeah, I know what you mean.
Honestly, if you put Chris on his own, the amount of fucking asses and seats he gets to the crowd is ridiculous. He is like an absolute womanly of like a person of how many people he attracts.
He is bodybuilding right now.
He's like famous. It's ridiculous how famous he is.
Like, don't get me wrong, Harry Chupin's brilliant in that, but like he's just not. No, he's not in the same league as a representative as Chris.
Chris is like walking like if a general person walked in the street seeing Hardy Chupin, like, oh, he's a big dude, they'd recognize Chris.
Aye.
Everybody would.
He's a big man, needs to sort out his monobrow. Keep bringing that up. It does my nothing.
I think it would be actually a nightmare to be Chris, like the amount of like fame you'd probably get.
Aye, but it's like yeah.
It's even out with bodybuilding.
I know. That's just what I was going to say. Yeah,
there's like he cannot train in another gym. It's impossible. Just like constant kids like wanting his autograph or photos, whatever it is. He doesn't like do a session in.
Yeah, I know. But he's such a nice guy. He probably like doesn't get worked up about it. And
no,
anyway,
that's why he like is who he is, and like that's why people love him. And it's like he's such a great ambassador for the sport.
Yeah. I think like I would tolerate that just for a wee bit, and then I'd be like, nah, I'm just going to train at midnight. I'll get keys and train at midnight. That's probably easier.
I'd buy my own fucking gym.
Shut off to everyone. Right, so so this is a lineup here. I thought another thing we could go is rattle through where we think.
Well, the big question is, do you think Rami will be any better?
No.
He's going in. He says he's getting stem cell treatment now, but that doesn't act that quick.
No, it doesn't. Fuck.
So I don't see it happening.
No.
He says it's all.
I think it's all downhill for him now. Like we've seen.
Yeah, I actually seen the photo of him in 2014. He was fucking phenomenal.
Aye.
Compared to now, and he looks garbage now compared to like what he did in 2014. It's like it's weird. He got the title when he was like at the end of his peak. It's a shame, but it is what it is. If you look at him then, he was nuts, absolutely nuts.
He's been too big for too long. That's all that is. I think his body's just fighting him now. His body's just fighting him. I mean, he's what in his 40s now.
Oh yeah, he will be for sure.
Aye.
I don't. He's very confident he's going to be better, but I just can't see it.
I'd love to see it. I would love to see it, but
yeah. I also think Samson will take him this time.
Yeah,
I arguably think Samson could take the whole show.
I think it will be close between him and Nick. Depends. If Samson comes in like 5% better, and Nick's the same, fucking could be a good battle. Yeah.
I mean, like you look at like the Arnold winners over the years. Traditionally, like I'm talking about the whole history of the Arnold. I'm not talking like the Branch Warrens and stuff, but the more aesthetic, pleasing guy has tended to kind of win or place highly. So you think that 100% Samson, 100% Nick, which obviously never happens, it would edge towards Samson in the end because he is. The shape is there and the structure is there. So that's kind of where I have I think I have Samson, Nick, and then Andrew jacked.
I'm in the same kind of debate as what Food that said. It's like, as good as Sean Clear is, there's just no way you can dismiss £100 difference.
No
chance. No,
he's not going to do a repeat of when he beat like Sergio or fuck was his name? Who did he beat at that show?
Regan.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a repeat of that.
Nah. And it's look at that though. It's like Mr. Olympia, Mr. Olympia, Mr. Olympia, Arnold winner.
Yeah,
that's like some fucking mental lineup. That'll be really, really good. Reagan keeps going to Army like to go, but I'm like, fucking, it's so expensive, man. To go to, it's just like, it's not like you're going to Orlando or Vegas or New York. You're going to fucking Columbus, Ohio. Like the only thing that's there is like the conference center. That's it. Everything else is just like a town. You know what I mean? It's like going to Dundee. Aye, so that's my top three. What are your top threes?
Yeah,
Samson, Nick,
Andrew Jack can get
Andrew.
Obekia.
Not even gonna try and say that.
Obekia. Is that just jacked in Nigerian?
Everything. He's went with Chris Aceto.
Aye. What do you think about that?
I think he'll do a better job than Farah. Aceto's been on it lately. He's not missed the mark. So
yeah, it's fair. Yeah.
Back in, we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, when I heard about that, I was like that's a good matchup. That I'm interested to see that. So
he's getting trained by the boy Psycho.
Oh, the guy that trained with Roden.
Possibly.
I think he did. I think they were best mates.
Yeah. He trains them hard, and I think they're focusing a lot on back. But I mean, it's going to be down to Chris to bring him in. I think that's Chris brings him in. That's a fucking big feather in his hat.
Oh, why?
In Chris's hat, if he can do it, because it's just been such a thing holding him back this year. So if Chris can bring it in, it'll be something to be said.
I think that's down to like it being too easy for him. I think Andrew Jack gets too lean and too big too easy. I think that's what it is. I think he's just like that. I think, mate. I've said this before in the podcast. I watched him train in Dubai.
Yeah,
it's fucking abysmal. It's abysmal. Like he's die. You can just look at weight and he's got 23-inch arms. You know what I mean? He's just one of them. So maybe he's not been like pedal to the metal the whole time, because I think for the Arnold Classic Amateur, he only dieted for like 4 weeks or something like that, 4 or 5 weeks. I think he was ill for one of them. So yeah, I think with the drive, the right coach, I think he'll be the next Mr. Olympia, to be fair. Not next year, but the next
for sure.
The next dominant Mr. Olympia, I think, is potential for him.
I think him and Samson will be the battling duo.
Yeah. If that top three is 100%, I think Jack could switch with Nick pretty easily, just based on the fact of like prehistoric.
I think Nick is going to struggle to compare with them in a couple of years' time.
Yeah, because like Nick can't really grow, because if he grows anymore, he's going to spoil his physique further.
Not as aesthetic as them either.
Yeah,
I think they've still got room.
Oh, Andrew Jack's definitely still got room. He's fucking got like 8 feet long legs.
Thompson's still got room. I mean, the rate he's growing at, like he's still got room for a bit more.
Yeah.
Interesting. I definitely think those two will be the battling squad in a couple of years. I think Nick's just going to have to slip out of that, be third.
Yeah. Going back to what we're saying about posing, or share screen for 2 seconds. So that's his 1989 routine. Not in I'm sure the 1987 routine was brilliant as well, but it's just so good. I know the different era, but like, who's better, Lee or Hunter?
In terms of like actual overall bodybuilder?
Overall bodybuilder. Not just size,
hard.
because obviously Hunter wins that.
The hard one.
So hard to compare. It's totally like different looks and
Yeah.
things about everything of the era. Like they were very into posing then, like that classical look, which Lee Labrada was just the icon of that.
He just looks so fucking good. Every body part.
70 pounds there or something.
Popping.
Aye, that's just so nice.
Yeah. Oh, he's like
Like,
classic, yeah.
Yeah.
Like
you stick that. Right, where does he land next to the likes of Bumstead? If he competed nowadays.
Close.
Yeah.
Yeah, not very far, yeah.
Very Urs type.
Aye, yeah.
So Urs is third, so he's going to be up there in the mix for sure. And he's
How old was
How was he here?
Yeah, how old would Lee have been there? Because yours is only like 23, isn't he?
Yeah, he's 22.
22, yeah.
He's very young.
I think they see it in this video. I think or it might be an Arnold Classic, but the camera pans to Hunter when he was a baby.
Yeah, bring him on stage.
Oh, right.
Aye. So Hunter's
Hunter
30.
You can see similarities in their physique.
Yeah, you can. Aye. I think it's the shoulders and the pecs. I think they're relatively similar. But aye, that's something else for me, that one. So, see, I've been watching Lady Gaga and Avril Lavigne.
Exposed.
I just had it on in the background, I swear. You can't go wrong with a bit of Avril Lavigne. Right, so that's the review there. You guys come up with anything this week?
I did have one. What the fuck was it?
Glad I only asked you to come up with topics about 2 minutes ago, but
don't worry, I'm not going to speak about the trannies.
You brought it up now.
Guys,
what is like? I know both your opinions, but it's just always a funny topic. What's your opinions on like trans people competing in sport? Like, sport, yeah. So like,
it's not even you need to have an opinion. It's fucking retarded.
I seen the best analogy, and it was a South Park analogy, right? I don't know if you've seen it. And it was the women's runner, and she's like, "Yeah, how do you feel about the trans person?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm so for it. Like, that's so amazing. There's like, it's so inclusive." And there's this like, it's like the Undertaker from WWE turns up, and he just like fucking owns them all, and it's like the best analogy I've ever seen of it. And it's just not fair.
No.
Like, you can't undo years of being exposed to testosterone as a man.
Aye.
You can't reduce your bone density to that, but you can't undo that. There's always an advantage there. I think
there comes a point where inclusivity just can't be a thing. It just can't. You can have people like going to like different cultural events, like if just say like I don't know, going to like a shwari if you're not Indian and stuff like that, like crossing cultures. But you can't fucking like cross into something that you're just not meant to be in.
No,
you can't. Like so, like
at the end of the day, right, two fucking genders in the world. There is. It's fucking simple fact. You cannot change that. There's no way you can just start making shit up. It's impossible. Simple as that. It's not like a man's going to go have a fucking a baby. You know what I mean? You can't identify as women have a baby. Like there's people that are saying like they're men having fucking menstrual cramps. Like fuck off. Like, you just can't.
One of my clients is going through like our nurses training, and like the NHS are trying to phase in like gender friendly language. So like you're not allowed to, eventually in the NHS you won't be allowed to call it breastfeeding. It has to be chest feeding.
I've got a punch in the face for that as well.
But then only a breast can.
Yeah, it's not like they can do it. They can't
dispense milk.
Go stick a fucking child on that pap. They're going to fuck off from it. You can't call it that. It's breastfeeding.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So like they legit have leaflets on this language being phased in. and it's like you can't say it's something like, rather than saying like are you a woman or are you a girl, it's like, are you a vulva having person? Like, do you have a vulva? Like, it's shit like that, because they're so fucking terrified. And obviously, NHS is scared of lawsuits left, right, and centre. But like, it's weird, mate. But like, see, I remember hearing about this all like 6-7 years ago, and I was like, whatever the fuck. But it's like, it's really fucking odd now.
I will never refer to anybody how they want to be referred to. It'll be fucking man or woman, and it'll be fucking breastfeeding, all this kind of shit. They'll never ever get anything from that.
So what if I ask you to refer to me as a woman or she? You wouldn't.
No.
You wouldn't. Even no. if I genuinely believe that's how I felt.
No.
Would you not?
Well, I would just class you as mentally fucking retarded. That's clearly the only scenario that is possible. That was
the reaction I was trying to get out of you.
Women.
The moment your speech starts getting fucking controlled, that's when
it's different for me. I don't care. I honestly don't care if that's how. If you want to be referred to as whatever, I'll refer to you as a duck if you really want to. Like, I don't care. But it's when, like, they tried to do in Canada, when they say like it's compelled. You know, that there's fines if you're caught doing it and stuff like that. That's when it's different, when free speech is impinged. But that was gone a long time ago. I mean, we just have to look at like the whole COVID thing and realize that free speech doesn't really actually exist.
No.
Okay, so
everyone's too fucking sensitive.
I think the one was what's the boy Shapiro?
Ben
Shapiro. So there was like one where he was doing like a seminar on it, and like a woman fucking put her hand up and said like, "Oh, you need to, like, what do you think I am?" And he's like, "Sorry, what do you mean?" And she was like, "Do you think I'm a man or a woman?" And he's like, "Well, clearly a woman." And she's like, "Well, I identify as a man, blah blah blah." And this conversation went on for ages, and eventually fucking like grounded her with something. And she didn't have much to say back, and she's like, "Well, what if you identify as this and that?" And he's like, "Well, I think you identify as a 69-year-old woman."
Oh, yeah, I've seen that one, yeah.
And then she was like 21. She's like, "What do you mean?" And he's like, "Well, you look 69, so clearly you identify as a 69 woman." The whole place erupted, and she just like didn't know what to say because she couldn't say anything back.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. If I think you look like that, I'm going to say you identify as that. Mm-hmm. It doesn't make any fucking sense.
No, it doesn't. It's just that kind of trying to be just like too, you can be too inclusive. You can be too inclusive.
It's freedom of speech things like stuff like that is getting out of hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a nice deviation from
I let off some steam there. That was good.
That was good. I like how passionate you get sometimes, Greg.
Stuff like that, fucking honestly, it boils my head.
I know, that's why I was trying to wind you up. So I think we discussed like trying to review what's going on in Scotland just now, bodybuilding wise. I'm going to have Instagram on background. So I think I saw you comment on it, Jack. Josh's, yeah.
I was just going to say.
Do you know? I think I did ask Josh what he's doing, but I can't remember what he told me. Do you know what he's doing?
No, I don't know. I'm not sure actually. It's hard to tell. You see his physique and you think he's in prep, and you see him training, you're like, this can't the height was off season.
Yeah, Josh has been to me proposing before, and obviously I've seen him on stage, but like he rocked up to posing with me looking like this, and I was like, what the fuck? And I said to him, I was like, what show are you doing? And he's like, oh, just the Scottish. I was like, just the Scottish? What?
Like, what fucking drugs are you taking, mate?
It's not even that. It's just like, to be honest, I think he's got a similar kind of like look to you, Jack, with like just a round, super round, like chest, delts, arms. It's very similar.
So I remember seeing Josh backstage, and the first thing hit my head was how bubbly his physique is, like round and full for someone so young as well.
Yeah, he's just he already is phenomenal, but see once he like gets, I think arguably he hasn't been like peel, but he is fucking young as well. Like, I think once he finds that, he's gonna be pro before he's, what is he, 23? No, he's still a junior, but he doesn't compete in the juniors.
Still a junior, yeah.
Yeah, that's fucking mad.
He was 18, 17 in 2019. So 23 must be thereabouts.
23, yeah. Yeah, that's still insane. I can understand why when you look like that, you wouldn't want to go into the juniors. But
just clear up.
Yeah, I know. It's good on him, like, but I would like to see him do more shows and come in even better, because if he picks the right.
It's just, I think it's just muscle maturity yet for him. It's just not.
100%.
Yeah,
but he's going to be. He already is phenomenal, but like I'm excited to see what he does in the next kind of 5 years and where he takes his physique as well. So like he tells me what he does, like PED wise, and it's nothing mad either. So he's got plenty of room on that front, and he's got a lot of potential there.
Yeah.
Okay.
for sure.
Liam and
Tolium.
Yeah, totally. So, I mean, this was him at the graphism. I think, he should step in, like, class ones or super heavies this year. Just bin, not bin classic, but I don't know if he struggled to make weight or whatever. But
it's the thing. It's like he's still got so much frame to fill. It comes up like against like quite dense guys in class one. It's going to be hard to ignore that.
Yeah, I know.
I can't remember how tall he is.
Jamie Johal kind of situation where he's just like standing a bit out.
Yeah, I mean that was the British, I think. So he's got, like I said, massive frame. But if he fills it, that's gonna be something else as well. I remember seeing him as a natty. I think he posted a shot of him as a natty earlier. Or maybe it was in his stories. I remember watching him compete as a natty, and that was ages ago. And even then, you were like, "Fuck, he's gonna be good." You just look at a natty and go, "Please just go on stuff, just so we can see."
Do you mind PCA Scotland 2018? Was that the year Abu won it?
Yeah.
Aye. He was really young as well, really round and full.
Yeah. Who else? Trying to think.
There's a lot of people on Brett right now, but it's hard to think.
I know. I see them all the time. I mean, the desktop version of Instagram's shite to scroll through.
What is the first show? Granite?
Show?
Yeah.
Are you going to that one, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm going to be going to the PCA first timers, I think. The two boys that I've got in the Granite, they've competed with me before. Joy's competed with me about 40 million times, so it won't be a problem to kind of manage them from down south.
Yeah. What first timer show is that?
PCA.
Okay. Where's that?
Yeah. Birmingham, and it's just exactly the same day as the Granite, or the day after. But obviously, I can't do both. I'll have to do both. I like to think I follow quite a lot of guys in Scotland, but I don't want to talk about my own clients because that's not fair. No. Okay, just when you think Scotland's good.
People competing. There's a lot more new faces competing, but not like, I would say, at the upper end of where you're going to see like titles being won. people getting into the sport now, which is great to see. Obviously, a few more years under their belt, they're going to be a lot of good people, but it's just going to take a bit of time.
I'm trying to think of, must be someone. Oh, shit. Must be someone.
See, it's funny when you talk about Scotland as a place. See, going into
Taylor's doing well.
Yeah, I thought Taylor's doing PCA, the one in Yorkshire this year.
That's quite late in that September, isn't it?
Yeah, he's doing a September show, I think.
Taylor Junson. Like I said, I don't want to mention my own clients, but only because I saw the flex unit equipment there. Like Kieran Milne's doing quite well as well.
Is Kieran competing this year?
Yeah, later this year, mid-year. So that'll be good. Dylan, I don't know what he's doing.
I'm not sure.
He's already a British champion, so this is what I should have done. I should have just scrolled. So he's already a British champ. It's funny, like my feed is just bodybuilding and dogs.
Some
and the office.
top English ones you're looking forward to seeing.
Sorry?
Some of like the top English guys you're looking forward to seeing this year compete.
I don't know if Johnny's competing.
He's taking a little bit more time off. I think he wants to still slam on some tissue, so I don't know when he'll be coming back in. Quite looking forward to seeing Josh up there again.
Yeah, Josh Law. Yeah.
We'll see in the 140s.
What do you mean?
140 kilo.
He just went under 300.
Oh, has he? All right. Okay.
I think he started quite light this year in prep.
All right. I thought I read something of he's in the 140s.
I'm pretty sure he said he was just went under 300.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to see. I wonder what he's doing. Who else?
Dan Bastick shared a boy in his story. First time I'd seen him, Luca, I think his name was.
Luca Pola.
He's quite a young guy as well.
Oh yeah, he's been around for a while actually. He ran about the PCA scene for a while.
Sass he's with?
I think so, yeah. I think so, yeah.
Aye. I'll go back and check
that. Connor coming up as well. They'll be coming back.
Aye. It'll be interesting to see if like you've actually made a difference in terms of like its size, because that was obviously Guy Harding as well. Yeah. Don't know what he's doing.
I think he doesn't do any of our leagues.
I does the GBO. Yeah. The gay bum
organization.
We're going to get so much hate for that.
Do you think? No, we're only joking.
Say fucking gay bumming organization.
It's only a tiny organization anyway. It doesn't matter. Fucking hell! It's just one time I need lots of bodybuilding posts are not coming up.
Joe.
Right. Dogs. Jay Cutler.
Big G.
Client. That's the classic lineup. That's good. Just as I'm certain he's been called out for it before, right? I don't know if these are, but Mike Sommerfield's been called out for like editing his photos before. That to me, that doesn't look right. Well, look at Ramon and then look at Mike.
Olympia. He plays fucking high. He was like fourth or
he was good, but like.
But in 60 people best in the world, he still came fourth. I mean, who gives a fuck?
No, what? Editing his photos?
Still fucking good.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I see what you mean.
If he's like placing like dog shit last, then obviously it's fucking say what he just came fourth in the world. Who gives a fuck? Do what you want.
Do what you want. Might as well be someone. Big Kieferton.
The Natty legend himself. Matty.
Matt Taunton.
Yeah.
Wonder what he's doing.
Matt was at the Arnolds, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
And both of them.
We're just watching me scroll Instagram now.
Good.
Reese, Nick. I want to scroll for another 2 seconds. If no one shows up, fucking patching it.
It's so hard to find a name on the spot. You can never think.
Yeah, I know.
It's named a good few, like.
Aye. But yeah, I'll be interested to see. How everything kind of goes on. So, so that's you 1 week in prep wise. Well, half a week.
2
3 days.
2 days.
It's when you text me saying, I keep forgetting I'm on prep. I keep forgetting I'm on prep. I was like, mate, it's been fucking 3 days.
No, but you know, like, you know what, like, you obviously you've had. Oh, for fuck's sake!
Sorry, I can hear you. There you go. Oh, you've just about to make a point there. We'll let him jump out and he'll jump back in.
Aye, frozen.
You back?
It's
He's
fucking
back.
thing.
Right,
Anyway,
again, what are you saying?
Yeah. So you know when, like, obviously you've been in off season and, like, you know, you just, like, if you want something, maybe like a little sweet hub there and there, you're walking in the shops like, oh, I might get that fucking bottle of juice or something. But like today, like, you walk in the shop and you like think, oh no, wait, I'm in prep. There's like certain things like that you just totally forget for a second. It's like, oh no, wait.
Putting down the snacky snacks.
Yeah, forget that. It's like, so you're walking around the shop and there's like a bag of cookies you might have. It's like, oh no, I can't have that now.
Yeah, I know. It's
like
it's like the realization. So what changed then? I know you told me about
calories, really. 500 calories got taken away, but literally just making sure that I've got enough activity days. Like, I'm pretty much doing the activity, like the most activity I would normally do, which is like today 4,000 steps. That's it. That's all I've got to do. So it's like he's just making sure I'm hitting that every day. But usually I'd be between 3,000 to 4,000 steps a day. So he's making sure it's like 4,000 minimum.
Are you doing anything specific for that, or are you just?
No, I've just got my watch on, just making sure I hit that.
Right, fair enough.
Just enough steps. Obviously, that's like out with training. So take training, take it off, and then obviously back on. But yeah, other than that, literally nothing's really much has changed. I'm still off stuff just now and getting my blood work on Monday.
Who's doing your bloods?
Blood lab.
Blood lab.
Yeah. Their kits are so fucking easy to use.
You sponsored by them as well?
No.
All right.
They are in a collaboration with Full Bore, but they don't do, like, I think there's only, they've got maybe 3 people that have athletes.
All right,
so that's all they do that was. But the kit's quite expensive, really, but I just found it so easy last time because it comes in like part 1 and part 2 in like a little box. So one's just got all your draw stuff, close it off, open box 2, it's got all, like, everything's already printed out, so like just put it in the bag, label on, both away.
Yeah.
So it's quite simple.
Yeah, I've been using Youth Revisited for ages. I'm using that for forever.
Yeah, they're good.
What do you do, Jack?
I use the junkie clinic for free. Well, they're really good. Well, if I can, I've had a few Medichecks tests in the past.
I'll tell you actually a funny story. I used them once.
Yeah, I've used them once.
Rob told me, like, I'll go use, you could use Inverness. I was like, well, I'm not an Inverness postcode. And he's like, oh, just put my postcode in, but say it's like the house next door. And I was like, all right, okay. So I went up, fucking booked an appointment. They took me in. I was like, oh, it must be working. Done it all. Lady was super nice. Went away. She was like, can I just double check your address? I was like, yeah, sure, blah, blah, blah. She's like, okay, that's fine. What's your email to send the results to? It's like, okay. She's like, okay, share the results within like maybe 2 to 3 days. I was like, spot on. Left. Then I got an email saying, oh, your results have been posted to your house. I was like, oh well. I was like, any chance of getting this in an email copy as well? So she's like, oh yeah, of course. So she done that, but then obviously some boys fucking got my results as well to this house.
Fuck. Aye.
You know.
That's brilliant. I've only done the free clinic once in Glasgow. I didn't like how you weren't allowed to take the results away. They weren't allowed to tell you over the phone, and they weren't allowed to. Aye, those two. That's it. So you have to go back. You have to go back in, and you have to take a photo of it if you wanted to see the results on a bit of paper. Something to do with confidentiality or something. But I've used that once. But then I don't know about the other two that you went to. Well, no, you went to the same one. But at the Glasgow one, the guy that ran it said that you could only do it after a PCT. So it kind of makes no sense if you're on. You know what I mean? Everyone just used to lie. Everyone's just like, oh yeah, I done my PCT. Still, that doesn't make sense. It should be regardless anytime.
Yeah.
So no, it's just like what we do.
The one here is very good. I've been twice in a month at a time. It's never a question.
Yeah, they were good.
Yeah, never quite. It's really quick as well. And you don't get a standard, you don't get TSH and prolactin as standard, but you can ask for it and they just bolt it on. I think it costs more for them. It's got to go to a different lab, but if you ask, they'll add it on. It's never an issue. Or maybe just quite lucky here.
Might be driving up to Inverness soon.
I think you've got to have a Highland postcode. So
I'll just do what Greg does and then get my. I'll just use your address. That's what I'll do.
That's fine. Feel free.
We're coming to an hour then. So, the head's healing nicely.
Yeah.
Stabby.
Oh mate, I want to pick it so bad.
Is it itchy?
Yeah. But like, the hair's coming through. No, the hair's coming through.
I was going to say, is the hair falling out though?
No, not yet. But I've got some of them are just so big as well. Fucking. But I try not to touch it. I'm allowed to scrub it on as of Friday. So with the Friday shower, I'm allowed to actually scrub my head to get the last scabs off. But it's fucking, and it's horrible as well. It's like I've got dandruff. So I'll be with clients because I wear a black hoodie. So like I've got it all lands on my shoulders and that. I'm like constantly going like that. It's fucking horrible. But no, it's definitely worth it. Like, I'm really happy with the hairlines. So. That's come through. Yeah. It's still red. It's still really red, but
it's a lot less red. You barely notice it.
You can see the hair.
Does it feel different?
Does it feel different?
It won't be as like spiky as a beard hair, will it? It's rough.
Not yet, no. But like as long as it kind of comes through, it doesn't need to be like that. But as long as it comes through, just to kind of fill this, then that's fine. But it doesn't need to feel like thick beard hair yet. Yeah. Anyway, so I like the and then my temples like that's really like jaggedy. It's like, and then like my normal hair there is like that's soft. Yeah. So, but then over time, I think it's like up to 8 to 12 months, you start feeling like it actually grows through as your natural hair does. Mm-hmm. So I'll be with to wait, but I don't mind. As long as the scabs go soon and the redness goes down, which is almost gone. I'm very happy. So,
no.
Yeah, I'm not supposed to, but yeah. It's a sweating thing. It's not a sweating and infection thing. So what I'm doing right now for my shoulder, I'm not sweating anyway. So, but I'm allowed to train now. I got the all clear from the surgeon on Monday. So he said he was just like, just don't be silly. That's literally what he said. Don't be silly. I was like, okay.
How long was that?
5 weeks today.
That's quick.
You know? Yeah. So it's like, it was quite funny because I walked in, right, and it was assistant first that saw me, and she was like, hey, do this. I was like, right. She's like, do that. Mm-hmm. Do that. Mm-hmm. And then she got me to like raise my hands higher. And then I was like, I'm just going to stop you there, right? I can do a full rotation with the shoulder, like a backstroke. She's like, can you? I was like, so I did it. And she actually went like that. She's like, don't do that. I was like, well, I can. I've been able to do that from about a week after the op. And she was like, that's insanely quick. And so yeah, they're pretty happy. I got sent. Did you see my story? Like the photos of it?
The video.
Aye.
Watch it all. You know.
I'll bring it up anyway, just for the fucking laughs, just to get the last bit of content in the podcast.
The inside of Andy's shoulder.
Yeah. Where'd it come from? But like, I don't know if I said in the podcast last time, but my surgeon, right, it costs 250 quid just to talk to him, just for consultation. And he came and saw me at that appointment on Monday, but he was in the room for about fucking 5 seconds. I was like, I better not have to pay for that. Oh, it's password protected. Fuck, 2 seconds. So lucky enough. Well, I haven't seen an invoice anyway, but that'd be fucking raging if that's the case.
Surely not as part of the service.
I know. I think so. Right. Look at all the video. Oh, this is blocking. Hold on. Right. So that's the tendon there on the left, and that's the humerus on the right. It looks like something from Star Wars.
I just think everything's floating.
That's my bone there on the right. That's the labrum on the right there. And that's it being attached with those bolts. No, wait, no, it's upside down. No, that's the labrum there. And that's the bone. Aye, because it's upside down. And that's been bolted to the bone.
What a complicated thing.
Yeah.
This is the let me just gonna zoom in. Yeah, I can. Right. Share one more time. So right. You'll see that there. So that's the humerus there. That's the tendon here, where that line is.
Mm-hmm.
That should be over here, like that is.
Uh-huh.
So you can see how detached, not detached, but how separated it was from the actual humerus itself. So that's why when I rotated my shoulder, I felt a click. So
could they see in that in a scan before you?
Yeah, you see that in MRI. But did they do a scan with me?
Yeah.
No, they just done slap tear tests, like physical tests. So they get you to, I don't know if your physio done it with you, Greg, but they get you to go like that, and then they apply pressure here, external pressure, obviously, and then if you can't resist it, that's a signal that the slap's gone.
Yeah.
So, that's my shoulder inside of it. Nice. I was watching the video though, and I was like, oh fuck. I don't think I'm squeamish, but I think you see when it's your own thing. I was like, oh, it's fucking boggling. I watched the operation on YouTube before I got it, just to see what they do. I had to pause it like 2 or 3 times, just like reset myself, be like, oh, that's fucking disgusting. Because like you see the torn tendon just like flapping like that. It looks like a fishtail, and then you can see like the needles going through it and pulling it, and it comes in like that against the bone and stuff, and then you see the bolts going into the bone. So it's pretty disgusting, like, but no, it feels good, and it's just the rotator cuffs around it are just tight because essentially they bolted the shoulder forward, so it just needs to kind of over time just relax and get loose. Mm-hmm. So, but chest on Monday felt brilliant, felt fine, but no problem at all. So it was weird getting a pump. Like, see, 4 weeks of not having a pump, that's fucking so strange. I was doing like hamstring curls yesterday. It was almost like my legs literally felt like they doubled in size. So that was nice. It's weird how you don't get that in a while. It's kind of like everything just comes out. So no, it's all good. So hopefully, I spoke to Nick today, and so it's just going to be a progressive thing, like subtle pushes in gear, subtle pushes in training, subtle pushes in food. So I've got, I think it's just over 18 weeks until I start prep. So I was looking at maybe a 12-week ramp up, get back to where I was, if not maybe a wee bit heavier, a wee bit higher, and then kind of hold for 6 weeks, kind of take the gear back down and then put it back up at 16 weeks out. So that's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah.
But training just now is like no failure, just one set, and just kind of progress the weight up a wee bit. I could definitely have done more on Monday. Like I pressed the incline the 30s for 15, and it's like pressing air. It's like being at this, you know what I mean? It's like us doing like 5s. So I was like, but Chris was like, don't push it. So I didn't. So
I just have to be like, I would just be going in like try to control stuff a hell of a lot more.
Aye.
How much more you can kind of justify giving it.
Yeah, 100%. That's kind of what I plan on doing going forward. It's just kind of, rather than increasing the volume, I'm going to keep the volume the same sets wise, and just kind of push the weight, see what I can get to comfortably, and then from there put more volume, more intensifiers in, just kind of see how it goes from there. So, right, we'll call it a day there because that's been over an hour, so I don't want to bore people. So, hope you enjoyed the episode, guys. If you made it this long, and remember to subscribe and like and all that sort of stuff with the below, and remember to follow us all on Instagram as well. And as always, if you want us to cover any kind of topics in the future episodes, that'd be great. Just let any of us know, and we'll fire that into the podcast next week. So cheers again, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers.